we will get started. Welcome to the online mobility series. My name is Megan. I'm an athletic therapist and fascial stretch therapist here at Awesome Wellness. And this is week 1 of 2 of our mobility series. Today we're targeting the upper body. All you need today is a chair and a yoga mat. But rule of thumb, if you have any pain, please sit that exercise out or work in a pain-free range of motion. So we're going to actually spend half the class in the chair and then the other half on the yoga mat. And again, I'm going to send the recording out afterwards, so you can do this and repeat this as often as you'd like. All right, we're going to start with our neck cars, which are essentially neck circles. We're going to point our chin down to our chest, chin along the collarbone, ear to shoulder, head back, ear to other shoulder, chin down, back to center. We're going to do a few more in that direction. Two more. Good. All right, and reverse. So chin along collarbone, ear to shoulder, going the other way, head back, ear to other shoulder, chin down, back to center. Let's do two more. Last one. Good. All right. Next up, shoulder car. So palm at your side. We're going to bring, or arm at your side, palm facing forward. We're going to bring that arm up to the top. As we get to the top, we're going to flip that thumb goes down behind you and then back up the way you came, finishing palm up. Good. We're going to do 3 more. Thumb goes down behind you, back up the way you came, finishing palm up. Last 2. Good. Last one. Everyone's size of their circle may look different, but the more you do this, the better you will get. We're really stressing the outer limits of your range of motion here. All right, let's go to the other side. Palm forward, bringing that arm up. As your hand gets to the top, your thumb goes down behind you and then back up the way you came, finishing palm up. Good. 3 more. Good. And 1 more. Good. All right. All right, we're gonna actually place our hand out to the side. So you can start with your right hand, just flexing it or extending it, I should say, out to the side. We're gonna turn our ear to our shoulder, away from that hand, and then we're gonna point our nose to our armpit. Back, ear to shoulder, nose to armpit. So we're holding each position about 2 to 3 seconds. This one's more dynamic in nature versus just holding it. More dynamic exercises as a warm-up is ideal. Let's do 2 more times each way. So down to the armpit, ear to shoulder, down to your armpit, and ear to shoulder. Good. All right, other side. So extending that left arm out, bringing your right ear to your right shoulder, and then nose to armpit, ear to shoulder, nose to armpit. Ear to shoulder, nose to armpit. We'll do 2 more each way. Good. All right. We're gonna actually now place our hands where our collarbone meets the sternum. So we're gonna pull that skin down as we look up to the sky. So it should be a really, really strong stretch the front of that neck. And we're just gonna hold. When you start to feel that sensation lessen, I'm gonna have you tip your chin to the right. So you should feel it in a little bit of a different angle. Then you're gonna look over your right shoulder. Good, we're gonna come back to center, straight up. Tilt your chin to the left. And then look over your left shoulder. And then back to center. Good, perfect. All right. That was a lot in the neck. Now we're gonna get into the mid back. So we're gonna place our one arm between our two knees, and the other hand just goes straight down to the floor. You're not gonna be touching the ground. We're gonna open that straight arm to the side and then back down. So for reference, I have my right arm between my legs and my left arm dangling. I'm opening my body to the left side of the room and then back down. Yeah, good. Up and down. So the thoracic spine, the mid back, gets pretty tight as we get older. It also can relate or translate into poor shoulder mobility as it gets more stiff. So definitely an important joint to mobilize. We're going to do 3 more this way. Good. All right. Sitting up now, let's place that left arm between your legs, bringing that right arm to the ground. Open that right arm to the sky and back down. Good. You may notice one way is a little easier than the other. Good, let's do 2 more. Good. All right. I'm going to just face my chair to the side so you can see this movement from the side. So this is an open book and a rainbow combo. So arm straight out. We're going to open one arm like a book, follow the gaze with your hand back to center, and then we're going to do a rainbow up and around, following that gaze. Good. Back to center. Alternating. Open book. Good. Rainbow. Good. Open book. So sticking on the one side, then we're going to switch and go to the other side. So same arm moving throughout this. Yeah, good. All right, 1 more each way. Rainbow, back, and open book. Back, good. All right, let's go to the other side. So just moving the one arm. Open book. Good. And rainbow. Yeah, good. Open book. Rainbow. Open book. Rainbow. Good. 1 more each way. Open book. And rainbow. Good. Okay. Next up, we're going to get into a side bend. So we're going to have our hands behind our head. We're gonna tip to the side, hold couple seconds, up and tip. So the thoracic spine does 4 motions. Rotation we've done. Now this is side flexion or side bending. And we'll get to the next one. The next 2 in the next movement. Okay, 1 more each way. Good. All right. Crossing those arms over chest. The last 2 movements, flexion, curling down, and extension, flexing back. Curling down and extending back. Good. Three more each way. Good. All right. We're gonna get into some shoulder flexion, but I'm trying to illustrate here how we need a little bit of thoracic extension with the arm raise. So bringing the arms up, bending back a little bit in that mid back, and then arms down. Up, extend a little bit. Be careful not to overextend in the lower back, and if you want to sit right back to your chair, you can. So just extend to a point of comfort. Let's do 4 more here. Good. All right, last move in the chair. We're gonna get into some pec openers. So arms crossed out in front of you. Bring the arms back with your thumbs pointing back, cross, and open. Good. Again, another dynamic move. All right, we're gonna bring this now on the diagonal. So up, diagonal, back, diagonal the other way. Hands meet in the center. Good. One more each way. Good, perfect. Okay, we're gonna get down onto all fours. On your mat. All right, so tabletop position, we're gonna get into a cat-cow. So again, starting with flexion and extension, tucking your chin to your chest, arch that mid back to the sky, and then push your chest down, looking up. Flexion, so flexing up to the sky, and then extending chest down, looking up. Good. Do 3 more here. Last one. Good. All right, next up, bringing your shoulder to your hip. So left shoulder to left hip, right shoulder to right hip. So this is a side bend. Left to left, kind of like you're making a C with your body. Right to right. Right shoulder to right hip, left shoulder to left hip. 3 more each way. Good. And then lastly, bring one hand behind your head, bringing your elbow to the midline of your body and then up to the sky. So getting into some rotation. Down to the midline, up to the sky. Three more in this direction, or this side. Last one. Good. All right, let's go to the other side. Hand behind your head, elbow to midline, up to the sky. Two more. Good. All right. Next up, we're going to place the palms on the yoga mat with our fingertips pointed to our knees. And we're going to rock back onto our heels and then rock forward. So you should be feeling this stretch along the forearms. Rocking back and forward. This one's really good to prevent golfer's elbow. So any kind of medial or inner elbow pain. You can also do this one on your bed. If you find you struggle getting your wrists in this position, at least with your bed, your fingertips could hang off the edge of the bed. One option. Let's do 5 more. Good. Next up, we're actually going to have our palms still on the ground, but our fingertips pointed away from each other. And then we're going to do clockwise circles with the body. Five more in this direction. Good. And then let's reverse. Counterclockwise. Three more. Good. All right. You can shake out those wrists. Second last move on all fours. We're gonna get back into that tabletop position. We're gonna raise our one arm forward out in front of us, and then we're gonna bring it out to the side. So I want you to just think about your shoulder blade here, but getting some mobility in a different plane. So forward and then out to the side. Good. Two more each way. Good. All right. Let's go to the other side. Bringing that arm forward and out to the side. Good. 2 more each way. Good, all right. Let's sit back onto our heels and reach those arms forward. So a nice child's pose. Just really try to reach as far as you can. We're gonna walk our hands to 2 o'clock. And then we're gonna sit back onto our heels. And then we'll walk our hands to 10 o'clock and sit back onto those heels. All right, we're gonna take our left hand, we're gonna point our thumb to the sky, and we're gonna bring that left arm to 2 o'clock and then sit back onto your heels. So stretching is all about angles, so even changing one little angle can change the whole feeling. All right, now we'll take our right hand, thumb to the sky, bring that right arm to 10 o'clock and sit back onto those heels. We're gonna do that one more time on each side. So left arm, thumb to the sky, bring it to 2 o'clock, sit back onto your heels. Last one, right arm, thumb to the sky to 10 o'clock and sit back. You should be feeling this one down your side, down the lat. All right, we're gonna come back to our chair in a seated position. And we're gonna get into some wrist circles. So up and around. And reverse direction. Three more. Good. All right. We're going to bring our arms straight out in front of us, fingertips pointed to the ground. We're going to turn those fingertips out to the side. Take your other hand, gently pull your hand towards you, bringing your fingertips towards you. Should be a really strong stretch in the forearm. Good. Shake it out. We'll switch arms, fingertips pointed to the ground, turn the fingertips out, away from, yep. And then pull your hands in towards your body. Good. And then we'll shake that out. I actually like to finish the class the way we started. So we're going to finish with the shoulder circles and the neck circles. I want you to try and think about how it feels now that we've done all this mobility. So let's start with the shoulders. Palm forward, bringing that arm up. We're just going to do 3 on each side. Thumb goes down behind you. Back up the way you came. Should feel a little bit more free, hopefully. 2 more. Good. Last one. Good. Let's go to the other arm. Palm up. Flipping the thumb behind. Back up the way you came, finishing palm up. Last one. Good. And then lastly, let's finish with those neck circles. So we'll go to the right, pointing the chin down. chin along the collarbone, ear to shoulder, head back, ear to other shoulder, chin down, back to center. One more. Good. And reverse. Chin along collarbone, ear to shoulder, head back, ear to other shoulder, chin down, back to center. Last one. Good. All right, there we have it. Upper body mobility is complete. I'm gonna send the recording shortly, so feel free to repeat this. It's 30 minutes, so it's nice and easy, maybe before your favorite show or before you're heading out to curl. So we'll see you next Monday for lower body, and thank you for joining. Take care.